Our next speaker, Dr. Suhaimi Nafis, lecturer, founder, and CEO, who also works at the University Putra, Malaysia, and founder of Sifulan, Malaysia. Speaking on today's topic is federated identity and its associated services as enablers for global learning initiative. Over to you, Dr. Suhaimi.
Okay, thank you very much for having me here. Assalamualaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What I'm going to talk today is on federated identity and what it does towards global learning initiative. So first and foremost, I would like to introduce Sifulan Malaysian Access Federation. It is actually an access federation consisting of education and research entity in Malaysia. It provides the trust framework service that helps organizations to get connected and deliver and consume the services securely and globally. We have been operational since 2014, but we were officially accepted as the 57th member of the EduGain since 2018. So what we see of us being able to become a member of EduGain is actually the acceptance of this in EduGain has been a major milestone for Malaysia as far as research and education community is concerned, because that is the time when we see some people starting to get noticed, because not many people probably actually are aware about the existence of national federation. So what happened is that once the acceptance as an EduGain member, we would be able to push saying that we are internationally renowned, we are part of EduGain, we are part of JEON, and suddenly, many people starting to get noticed, and slowly but surely we are moving on. So basically, Sifulan members are not only able to access services from their own service providers, but it's also from other service provider via interfederation. What we see by interfederation here is that there is an EduGain interfederation whereby the metadata is actually being shared among the EduGain members, so that the moment you are connected to EduGain, all the rest of the service provider from all other members can actually be accessible through your own national federation. So I think this is something that is very important to note for those who haven't got around to actually having their national federation. Just a little bit of overview, and I know that Helga Spitaler is actually the second person after me. Malaysia's involvement in International Research and Education Network has been around since 1997, where with the Asia Pacific Advanced Network, we were part of the one that saw the birth of Asia Pacific Advanced Network. And coming up to that, we have been following the EU's EGEE, EGEI since 2003. And I can't remember when I got the first time to have a chance to meet up with Helga, but Helga always, I will remember it until the judgment day, that she will always call me Suhaimi Tsunami. So I think that is something that I will remember. Basically, in the research and education community today, because of this COVID-19 pandemic, all research and education activities actually need to be conducted online. And this actually posed a lot of problem to many countries, including Malaysia. So because of this pandemic, the need for what I call as virtual of things, which was supposed to be maybe several, scheduled to be up and become normal, maybe several years from now, has been shifted back or move forward to become as it is today. So there is the need, or there is a dire need or there is a force that need the IT department for all the research institution to shift their service focus towards virtual environment. By virtual environment, I think everybody knows we have been talking since the morning or afternoon in Malaysia about research and education, about high performance computing, about cloud computing, about many things since this morning, your time. We are also looking at video conferencing, cloud online based collaborative platform, VPN, and so on. So we see this as the entire ecosystem of a virtual environment or virtual learning environment. So we are very fortunate, to say the least, to have a global collaboration framework, and I shall name EduGain, EduRoam, and EduVPN on a timely basis to support the research and education for all our virtual of things, okay, that is happening in Malaysia. So I think it's a big plus of our Malaysia's involvement with all these activities internationally. So the core framework to enable the Global Learning Initiative is at the core Identity Federation, EduRoam, and EduGain, whereby if you look at my diagram on the left side there, research data management, virtual learning environment, the access to e-resources, video conferencing, virtual collaboratories. It was mentioned earlier also about virtual collaboratories. Scientific computing is also being mentioned. Research collaboration, of course, just needs no introduction. So all in all, this ID Federation, EduRoam, and EduVPN is actually at the core. So research and education component, key component, I just want to deliberate a little bit, whereby you, in a virtual learning environment, everybody knows about learning management system, MOOC, and I think MOOC has become even more important. There is a need for us to share data. They are talking about open access, open science. To do that, you do need to have a research data management and repository, having access control over its access. So this is very important. The video conferencing, of course, we are using Zoom now, but there is also WebEx, there is also Team, and also, of course, the open source Big Blue Button, which seems to be our favorite. For the e-resources, when we talk about e-resources, we talk about library resources, databases, course material, and so on and so forth, that is able to be shared on a global basis. Scientific computing needs no introduction, HPC, cloud storage, and so on. So what are the issues? To tell you quite frankly, when we talk about the advent of the pandemic, is that Malaysia, or maybe in many parts of the world, the research and education institution aren't or weren't ready as yet to quickly adopt or adapt to this situation. Everything is virtual. Currently, actually, the technology and the computing infrastructure within many of these organizations are actually based on legacy system, in silo, not being able to work efficiently on the virtual environment, and it doesn't fully support global virtual collaboration. Many are still not connected to international RAN, although maybe I'm happy to see that Arab state, in that region, they have so many RANs that are present in the region. But we have to look at some other Muslim countries. I'm sorry to say that only 11 out of the 52 Muslim majority countries, which is 80%, that is not connected. So only 20% have joined EduGain. So this is very important because EduGain is the core, as I mentioned earlier. And I'm very happy to note that Oman is one of the 11 Muslim majority countries that is already being part of the EduGain member. Mabruk. The other thing is actually it was mentioned in the morning. I believe is Yusuf Thurman mentioning and also by several others before me, saying that yes, you have a lot of rent from within each state, but you do need a Pan-Arab, or even I'm happy to mention ISESCO has an initiative called Pan-Islamic Research and Education Network. I have the chance to actually attended one of the meeting in Islamabad, Pakistan, and I think Yusuf Thurman also was there. We need to revisit this. You know, there is a need for us to have a pan-Islamic, and not just for Arab state, but you have to remember Malaysia and Indonesia in the Southeast Asia, including Brunei. You know, we do need to have all the connection and all the collaboration necessary for us to actually progress. So the world actually now, there is a big worry on my part. We are not just facing a digital divide, but because in Malaysia, at least, where schools are closed and everything, we have coming into a danger of having educational divide, which actually have a very, very, very long-term effect that, excuse me, that may lead to yet another pandemic of educational inequality. So this is something that is worrisome on my part, and I'm sure it is to be shared by many, many people who believe in education. I myself is actually an educator. So what is the way forward? We see that one way forward is to develop and provide software as a service portfolio for organizations that I have already mentioned that do not have all this facility, so that they can quickly opt in and able to collaborate at the global level. So I have seen a lot of the cloud service provider. I've seen this morning or this afternoon in Malaysia, the Oman Data Park. Those are all good things, but there are those who have not. I call it have not, or developing or underdeveloped economies. Actually, there's still hunger for something that can do quickly. So Sifulan is actually doing some pilot tests on this software as a service, and we will be reporting at the upcoming APAN virtual meeting in August 2021. And it will be a virtual meeting. It will be some held in Indonesia. So you are all most welcome to actually join apan.net, where you will be able to be the outreach towards the Asia Pacific region, especially the Southeast Asian nations. So this is where we can possibly contribute towards a more sustainable virtual ecosystem for research and education community. And I am very concerned on behalf of the underdeveloped as well as developing economy. Unless we do something, there will be a danger of the pandemic of educational inequalities. So this is something that is worrisome, and hopefully all of you who are listening share my view on this matter. So the other thing is actually perhaps not so much about formalized certificate-based degree offering situation or education for the tertiary. Sifulan is also exploring some sort of non-graduating microcredit education sector, whereby taking advantage of the federated identity, what we term as autonomous ID, which is actually a global unique ID with a very lowest level of entitlement that may enable for learners or casual learners, non-graduating, to earn badges or microcredit in the hope that they will be able to advance themselves. So that is a small thing in which we could do. And I am, this is my last statement. And I call upon all countries, especially those that are listening now, foundation, institution, and so on, to be with us in our journey towards narrowing this devastating educational divide made worse by COVID-19. On that note, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullah. Shukran jazilan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Suhaimi. Dr. Suhaimi, you're with me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Or should I call you Tsunami?
Yes, you can. Helga will smile.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be very happy about it. So,
yes.
So having said this, the theme of the event is enabling collaborations.
Yes.
A lot of students of ours also study in Malaysia. So
Yep.
what do you think about how these entrants can, help these students as well? What's your opinion on that?
Okay. Well, we are connected, and I'm sure through Jayan and everything, actually, as far as RAN is concerned, the connection between the Arab region and in the region, in, like, for example, in Malaysia or Indonesia or Singapore for that matter, I think that can be facilitated. But I always believe in the credit transfer, because we have to harmonize the credit transfer. I have a dream where maybe it's not forthcoming yet, whereby you can actually enroll at Sultan Qaboos University and graduated at University Putra Malaysia. That is something in which has never been done yet. I am unaware of such thing, but through the global collaboration and through the need for us to actually have global collaboration and education, I think that is something, it's not far-fetched, because COVID-19 has made everything all virtual, and you don't necessarily need to be present face-to-face. So I think it's a real thing. So that is my take. And of course, federated identity is very important, because in this globalized world, pseudo name of the people and so on. So you have to have some form of identity vetting to ensure who you are, who you are. Thank you. I hope it answers that question.
Thank you, Dr. Suhaimi, and hope to meet you in person in Oman next year for the event.
No problem. Anytime, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon ahead. Bye-bye.
All right.